What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you stopping by for the first time, do me a real quick favor. See that red subscribe button down below? Go ahead and push that and show your support for the channel. Those of you stopping by that have been here before, welcome back to TLTG Reviews, my friends. Glad you came to see me. So it's that time again. It's the weekly rotation. It's week number 19. Stay tuned. So starting off on Sunday was one that I haven't worn really but one time since I got it. It smells pretty much just like Versace Mano Fresh with a little bit more florals added to it. And you can kind of detect the bamboo. It's from Dolce & Gabbana. It's light blue, Perfume. That's right, this is the ladies version. And those of you that have smelled it, because it's been around a long time, you know how unisex of a summer fragrance this actually is and just how great it smells. This stuff's incredible, it really is. I was in TJ Maxx one day and saw it, and it was actually on clearance for a good price. I can't remember the price exactly. I want to say like $28 or something for the 100 ml, which is a really good price. So I went ahead and jumped on it. And I think this is like the second, maybe third time I've worn it. So it hasn't gotten a lot of rotation, but I was very happy to wear this. This smells great. It's one that really is a little more powerful for out the shower than I typically like, which a few this week were kind of like that. But you feel like wearing what you feel like wearing. And on Sunday, I felt like wearing Dolce & Gabbana light blue Perfume. And then later that evening, when I got out the shower, you know Nautica's my favorite brand when it comes to cheap aquatics that don't perform well, that I like to spray out the shower. Nautica Voyage Heritage. This ended up being a Heritage week instead of Sport. I actually didn't wear Sport this week, believe it or not. And it just smells so good. They smell very generic and smell like a lot of different things, but out the shower, for what you can get them for in that $10 to $15 range, cheap as they are, they're perfect getting out the shower. And that was Nautica Voyage Heritage. Moving into Monday was one that was recently sent to me by Rayon Tradition for review. They did send me a few fragrances over, as some of you saw when I was going over Victorious, which is an Invictus clone. I did happen to, because I didn't get to pick what was sent to me, but I was glad this got sent to me. This is from Rayon Tradition, Insurrection Pure 2. Because I'd been wanting to try this. And this is definitely a muskier take on a Ventus. It's actually, in the opening, I love it. In the dry down, it's not that great. Because those of you that have been following my channel for a while, you know that certain musks I don't really care for. And this is a very synthetic musk, and the dry down is just kind of meh for me. I don't hate it. I don't think it stinks. I mean, I refreshed that day because I only got about 5 hours with it. And I refreshed, and you know, I like it, but I sure don't love it. And I definitely don't hate it. But it's definitely not a must-have. For $20, which you can get them for all over the place, it's not a bad fragrance, but it's definitely not one of my favorite Ventus clones. But it's decent, to say the very least. From Rayon Tradition, it's Insurrection Pure 2. And then later that evening, it's been a little while since I wore this, since I bought it. This is from Salvatore Ferragamo. This is F Free Time, the citrus heavy flanker of the F line. And this one's going to give you that heavy citrus opening with a rather grassy vetiver in the transition and dry down. This one's relatively vetiver heavy for as citrus heavy as it is. And it's going to remind you of a few things, but it kind of does its own thing at the same time. It's actually a very enjoyable smell, decent performer, about 5 hours. Really enjoying this one. Glad I got my hands on it. And that was out the shower, Salvatore Ferragamo F Free Time. Then moving into Tuesday, I was in the mood for some freshies this past week, so hadn't wore this one in a little while and figured it was time. And I'll tell you what, it smells great. It's one of the better fragrances from this house. It's Clone House Sensual Obsessions Invictus Aqua 2016. So you can tell how full this bottle is. That air bubble is from multiple wears, because I did have a 5 milliliter decant originally before I got this bottle, and I poured that into it, and I mean, it filled it up to the brim. When I was screwing the atomizer back down, I was worried it was going to overflow. So it took, you know, every bit of like 3 or 4, I think it was 3 wearings to make that air bubble. You know, and it's really good. It's a really good fragrance. It's almost 1-to-1 with Invictus Aqua 2016. That's very, very expensive to get your hands on. And if you're low on your bottle, if you're a guy that had it and you don't want to fork up the 150 plus that it's going to cost to get another one, and you're looking for a great alternative at a great price, the Sensual Obsessions version is fantastic. Please don't pass on this one if you're looking for it. I get no kickbacks or anything from Kevin from Sensual Obsessions. Just a good friend of mine, and he makes really, really good clones, and this is one of the better clones from the house. And then later that night, it was actually 2 days in a row, I busted out Salvatore Ferragamo F Free Time. So I enjoyed it so much the night before, I doubled up and wore it again the following night. And that was F Free Time, Salvatore Ferragamo. Moving into Wednesday, this fragrance actually got lost in the shuffle and was supposed to be on my spring list, but sparked a new list in its own. This was #1 on my 10 underrated spring fragrances videos from Bulgari. This is Man Extreme. The level on it is right here. Because of the ring light, I can see through the bottle. I don't know if you guys can. It has taken a heavy shot. I did pick this up used last year. This is one that if you like a good cactus note that's really citrusy, fresh, spicy, this is a good one for you. Decent performer. I get about 7 hours on my skin. Not a real sillage monster, but it smells great. I know George, the fragrance apprentice, loves this one. I actually suggested Justin Copeland check this out. Because for those of you that love the original Tommy, the cactus note's very prominent in that one, and this one's going to give you a similar vibe to Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger, and this one's a better performer. So definitely check this one out. It's still a cheapie in the $30 some odd range for a big 100 ml like this. This is slept on. Don't overlook this one if you like that cactus note in fragrances, because this one's got a prominent cactus note, and that's Bulgari, Man Extreme. And then later that evening, it's been about 2 weeks since I wore it. I was in the mood for some citruses this week, and can't have a citrus week without Gap, Yuzu and Chino, because that orange color's fitting. This is an orange heavy fragrance. Performance is terrible, 2 or 3 hours and it's gone. It's cheap, but I tell you what, you can spray it heavy and it smells great. Super synthetic, cheap old Gap fragrance, but it smells great out the shower. Very refreshing, very invigorating, goes really well with the shower gel too. So later that evening, out the shower was Gap, Yuzu and Chino. Moving into Thursday, my scent of the day, I actually did a review on this one in the last couple of days. I'll actually put that right there if you want to check that video out. It's from Bentley. It's Momentum Unlimited. This is a gem. It's a hidden gem. It's got the generic tag, you know, but if you're looking for a really good freshie, if you're a fan of a lot of what Bentley does, which they have some great fragrances, they really do. If you're looking for a good freshie offering and Azure didn't really wow you, try Momentum Unlimited. It's very fresh. It's got a very prominent vetiver and leather through the transition and dry down that for those notes, it's very, very fresh. The grapefruit is very prominent. The ambroxan is on the light side on this one. This is a very light blue fragrance. The juice color is very fitting for this one. This is one that I strongly suggest if you're looking for a freshie from Bentley, give this one a try. This one's probably, I believe this one's better than Azure. I do have Azure, and that's a decent fragrance too. That's on the generic side as well. Another light blue freshie. But if you're looking for a good hidden gem, freshie from Bentley, this is probably the best one. It's Bentley Momentum Unlimited. And then later that evening out the shower, I went from freshie to spice. And you know, now that I've spent a little bit more time with this one, it's another clone from Sensual Obsessions. I find this is more Spice Bomb fresh than Spice Bomb. Sensual Obsessions Spice Bomb. You know, my own little label that I made for it. It's a little more grapefruit heavy than I originally thought. It does smell Spice Bomb. You smell Spice Bomb DNA, but it's a little bit fresher than the regular Spice Bomb. That's why I say this is more along the lines of Spice Bomb fresh. So considering that has been discontinued and the price is slowly going up on those bottles, maybe give this one a try if you're looking for an alternative to Spice Bomb Fresh, which I know there really isn't many out there. Try Sensual Obsessions version of Spice Bomb because, like I said, it's more Spice Bomb Fresh than Spice Bomb. Moving into Friday, like I said, it was a freshy type of week. And I hadn't wore this one in a little while, and I sprayed it heavy and I refreshed heavy too. It's Lacoste Homme, the original. I'm really enjoying this one. I'm debating on pulling the trigger on Intense in the next coming weeks and Timeless. And just go ahead and get the whole line. Check it out. I'm excited to try both. I know the DNA is present in Timeless, but it kind of changes everything with it's kind of jasmine heavy and it's got a tea note and all that. So I'm really looking forward to trying the rest of the line, because I'll tell you what, the originator of the DNA with that citrus almond and the rhubarb, this is a really good fragrance. This is great for the spring. Gonna be great for the summer too. God, this smells so good. Don't sleep on this one. You can get the whole line in the $30 range per bottle for 100 ml, and that's Lacoste, L'Homme. And then later that evening, I stuck with the house. Lemon Heavy, Limoncello. It's L1212 Eau Fraiche. Big 150 ml, I believe is what it is. 175 ml, excuse me. Big old bottle. I absolutely love that. It's an embroidered patch that's glued on the gator. I've always liked that about these bottles. This is such a refreshing fragrance. It really is. Those of you that have tried it, you completely understand. I had tried it before. Haven't put a whole lot of a dent. The ring light's really helping me see through the bottles. Haven't put a big old dent in it yet, but this summer, probably going to put a decent sized dent in it, which for me, a decent sized dent will be working it down to about right there. For as many fragrances I have, I get in the mood to want to wear different things. I test different things, but out to shower, this was very, very refreshing and relaxing. And that's L1212 Eau Fraiche from Lacoste. And then moving into Saturday, this is one of the foundational fragrances for me. This is one that really got me into fragrances when it came out in 05. I love this fragrance. I've always loved it. It don't perform as well as it used to, but I'll always have a bottle. I used to have a big bottle, big 4.2 ounce. Now I have this 40 ml that I'm starting to put a little dent in. And I'll get another 4.2 ounce at some point. I wore it all day. Dolce & Gabbana, light blue, the original. I wore it during the day. When I got out the shower, I wore it again because I just love this one. Spray it heavy. Sillage isn't real strong. You're going to smell fresh. You're going to smell clean. When somebody smells you, they're going to love the way you smell. Compliment factor is very high on this fragrance. It always has, and it always will be. It's not really dated at this point as much as maybe played out, because so many people have worn it for so many years. It's a very popular DNA. Hell, it's spawned tons of flankers. But at the end of the day, can't deny this smells great. This is Dolce & Gabbana, light blue. So there you have it. That was week 19, moving into week 20. Going to be another free-for-all, I believe. I don't have any plans on doing any specific weeks at the moment. But I like catching up with you guys and showing you what I wore throughout the week. I really enjoy doing these rotation videos for sure. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Do appreciate all the feedback. Let me know down in the comments. What'd you wear this week? Was it one fragrance? Was it 5? Was it 20? Did you mix it up a whole bunch like I did? Let me know in the comments. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on some of these and you give them a spray now, you know there's a really good chance that you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.